Hi, I'm Bree, and welcome back to more cozy pumpkin content on a 90-degree fall day. When I was a kid, my dad's house had a refrigerator in the garage, and one Thanksgiving, a bear snuck into the garage, raided the refrigerator, ate like 3 pumpkin pies, 2 tubs of Cool Whip, broke a couple bottles of wine. And either my dad or my brother walked in on the bear doing this, and the refrigerator was directly in front of the back door, so it was very much a moment of, hold on, let me grab something. Jesus God. Never mind. And then we just had to wait for the bear to finish eating and leave the garage. We did not have any dessert that year, but I think the bear had much to be thankful for. And I think about this bear a lot. Like, he had a taste for pumpkin and then his life was forever changed. So this week I want to make like a little pumpkin spice bear. And a part of me thought that since this was a Thanksgiving story, that I should wait until next month to make the bear and then focus on some of the Halloween ideas I have for this month. But I can't do that because the bear is on my mind. I'm fixated on it, I'm anxious to make it, and so I just need to make it to exercise the desire from my body. And then I can move on with my life. So great, let's do that. Okay, here we go. Look who is dwindling down her clay supply. I'm on to my last couple chunks here. This is air dry clay from Amico Brent. You can get it at Joann's. That's where I got mine. And I've been pretty pleased with this box. I've gotten a lot of figures out of this supply. I'm going to form the bear's body first, and I want him to be choinky. He is full of pie. So I'm going with a rather round shape here, tapered a bit at the head, and get that as smooth as possible. And then I've got 2 little simple, very stumpy little legs with chunky feet on the ends. And if you've watched my previous videos, you will see that I've been using more wire inside of my figures. My rationale behind that is I just thought it would make the pieces more secure inside. So I've been adding wire inside various appendages here before sticking them onto the bear, but the wire will betray me. I'm just letting you know now. I'm smoothing out some additional clay around the legs to hide and protect that seam where the pieces meet his body. And now I'm smoothing out some long, thin, rectangular pieces to use in his clothing. I want to give him a big, chunky knit sweater. You know, winter is coming and Barry needs comfort. I'm going to score one side of the fabric pieces and then also the part of his body where those pieces are going to lay. And then I'm just gluing those together with water. I'm adding this trim around the top and the bottom of the sweater on his body. Now, if you're looking at my workstation, you will see some little arm shapes on the table here, but we're gonna gloss right over their existence because I end up making new and improved arms later. Now, instead of a pie, my plan is to give him a little pumpkin spice latte to hold. I feel that's the next logical step for him. So I've rolled out a little cup shape here, adding that little cardboard koozie sleeve, and then I'm pressing on a flat circle shape on the top to be the lid of the cup. And here are his new arms. I made them way thicker. You know, he's a thick boy, and the arms needed to match the legs a little bit better. Now, I'm trying to avoid the same mistake that I made with my last pumpkin figure, that being putting a round shape up against a flat shape. That just makes it really difficult to paint. So I've cut off one side of the coffee cup so that it will sit more flat against his chest. And then I'm adding that sweater trim around the wrists of his arms. And then I'm going to rough up the surface of all that, goop on some of that nice slip from my water dish, and then stick all the pieces together. Now, I think he needs one more accessory to complete his autumn girl aesthetic, so I'm forming him a hat. But not just any hat, a beret. And not just any beret, a pumpkin-shaped beret. Yes, it must be done. I'm making a little pumpkin the same way I did in my last video, using a tool to carve out the little grooves. And here I go with that wire again, adding a stem to the top of it. And oh my god, more wire to attach his little ears. It's interesting watching something back and knowing just how confident I was in that moment, but future me knows what is coming. I'm going to reinforce those seams too around the ears and then stick on his little beret, and I mean, he's looking precious. Oh, and then my phone died. Yeah, sorry about that, but we're back. All I did was add a little snout onto his face, and now I'm gonna go around and carve some pattern detail on his sweater. I'm just kind of winging this. I don't really know if this is gonna work out, but I need the markings to be deep enough where they don't just get filled in by paint, and I don't want them to be so deep that they just look like they're not a part of the sweater at all. So I'm trying it out. We're gonna see how it works. And I typically finish sculpting a figure in one night, but it is 1 a.m. here in this clip, and I gotta go to bed. So I remember doing this in art class in grade school when we worked with ceramic type clay, but I figured it would work with this kind of clay too. I'm just putting the figure in a plastic bag with a damp paper towel over top and closing it up so that the figure doesn't dry out overnight and I can continue working on it the next day. And then here we are the next day, and yep, it totally worked. Feels just the same as it did the night before. I just need to finish adding the little knit pattern onto the sweater, and then I am going to go lightly over all of those carvings with a wet paintbrush. I want them to be smooth, but I just gotta be careful not to fill them in again. And this bear was looking cute. I mean, look at the material. But fast forward 2 days of drying time and behold the betrayal. Maybe the clay shrunk a little bit as I was drying because the wire is fully busting out. This is not good, but I'm gonna try to stay hopeful. Anything is possible with some paint and a dream. Yeah. Maybe we can really glob this baby up with paint and smooth it out. Now, I've prepped the whole surface and realize I'm out of brown paint, so we're going to Michael's, baby. Wow, look at that beauty. But my quest for brown paint quickly escalated into, let me fill every hole in my color wheel of paints. I always admire these premium acrylics. I mean, come on, folk art? Are you kidding me? That's so cute. But these are twice the price of the other ones, so back you go. I also got a couple new brushes because I can't be stopped. And alright, spent way too much time in there, but we secured the bag and we're heading home. So I've got my figure here and oh, my new colors. Now I got 4 different colors of brown because I like options. I'm just starting with the classic brown here. And then here's one of my new brushes. One side is kind of like angled, and I thought this would be perfect to use around edges where I want a clean line. And oh, look at that. Yes, that is quality. The paint, on the other hand, is very thin and the coverage is really splotchy, so we just gotta layer that up a bit. And that was actually kind of annoying to do, and it's got me thinking about those premium acrylics. I wonder if the coverage on those is more opaque in one layer. Would that be an interesting video if I made like matching figures and painted one using the cheaper acrylics and one with the fancy premium acrylics and compared them? Or is that just me trying to justify buying the more expensive bottles? Anyone think that's interesting? Hello? Guys? Alright, well, I've painted his sweater and his beret in different colored oranges, and I came back the next day to finish it, and I just hated the brown color. It looked way too dark to me. It's just not right. So I'm doing something I may regret later. I'm changing his fur color to a lighter brown. So all the hours of the previous night I spent meticulously outlining the sweater against the fur were absolutely for nothing because I got to do it all over again. But you know what? I'm much happier with this brown. It still looks a little dark on camera, but in person it's lighter. Now we've got all of our base colors looking good, so now it's time for some of the smaller details. I'm going to paint his coffee cup and add a green stem onto his pumpkin hat. And I'm also using a light beige color over his snout and ears. I'm going to use that as well to add some paw prints onto the bottom of his feet. And actually, all of these layers of paint kind of worked out okay because it totally covered the little wire bits. You really can't even tell. So, good job me, I guess. And final details, I'm going to add a little face for him. I'm painting a little pumpkin onto the front of his coffee cup as well, so that everybody knows what's up. There's no mistaking what's in there. That is the good stuff. And okay, now we gotta sign the bottom. This figure is lucky number 13. Look at that. And then my favorite part, which is the gloss, the varnish. I'm gonna gloss him up real good, protect that paint job, and here he is, all done. Look at Barry. Oh my god, he's beautiful. He's living his best life. I really love him. If you'd like to adopt Barry, he is now listed on my Etsy page. I'll leave the link in the description box below. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!